got to talk some hockey. We don't have time, guys, to react to last night because we're running really tight on time. But, Paul, sorry about the Lightning coming to life and knocking off Toronto there. But we have NHL.com editor Anna Dua here, RotoWire's riveting duo of AJ Scholz. He's back. Paul Bruno, he's back. Let's see. AJ, all four winning teams last night put up at least 5 goals each. 4 more games tonight. Who's a dude at center in a good spot to deliver chunky fantasy points for the people?
I mean, I just don't know how you get away from Nathan MacKinnon in this one. The matchup's just so good. Yeah, it's a heavy price tag, and paying up can be a little bit difficult sometimes. But look, this guy's just been too good to avoid using Nathan MacKinnon tonight. I can't get away from him. If you want somewhere lower to kind of do like a high-low combo, I'd look at Sam Bennett with the Panthers at 4,400. He's similarly priced to a guy like Matt Duchene, who, in that under 5K, good value with goals in back-to-back games for Bennett. The Panthers offense should continue to roll as well. But MacKinnon is for sure my play tonight.
Anna, who's your play?
I'm on the same page as AJ this time. It's so difficult to argue against Nate MacKinnon. He has 43 points since the beginning of the 2020 postseason till now in just 26 games played. That's the most points per game out of any player in the league who's played at least 10 playoff games in that span. He has to be one of the best skaters in the postseason out there. And with Nashville still not having Saros back in net, I don't know how you couldn't go with Colorado. Bennett, a great other option. However, you can't really discount Duchene that much. He plays so well against his former team. He has 4 goals in 3 games against Nashville. So if you want to roll with Duchene, you can, but it's tough to go against MacKinnon.
Paul, Anna, and AJ teaming up. But game 1 between the Avs and Preds, that was over before the first period ended, dude.
You know what? Whenever the other 2 people on our panel go against me, you know where the money should be going, right?
Yeah.
Based on my history here, there's no question. So I'll give you the right answer. It's Barkov and Lindholm, the number 1 centers on both Florida and Calgary, prohibitive favorites in their respective games. I don't know how you stop the Florida offense, and I don't think they're going to figure out in this series either. And Calgary was limited to 1 goal. Lindholm was the one that scored it. I think he's in for a bigger night along with the rest of that offense. So $7,300, $6,000 respectively. I'd rather go there than the high-low that the other 2 are.
Paul, I look forward to waking up tomorrow morning and seeing a tweet from you at like 1 a.m. Eastern time saying that you got it right, you got the pick right. Let's go to the wings and things department. Anna, which winger do you need in your DFS lineup? You got 3 that are going to cost you at least $7,000. You going that high up?
I am not. I'm actually going Kasperi Kapanen out of Pittsburgh. So Kapanen had a great game in that triple OT win against the Rangers. He had 8 shots on net, had an assist on that game-winning goal, and he was playing on Pittsburgh's third line. Just got elevated after the injury to Rickard Rakell. Is playing with Evgeny Malkin. That's only going to help his point production. He had 3 points last postseason in 6 playoff games for the Penguins, 1 goal, 2 assists, 12 shots on goal during that period of time. So I'm going Kapanen tonight.
Paul, where are you going?
When was the last time you saw a 50-goal scorer with a price tag less than $6,000? The answer is tonight. Chris Kreider, $5,900. Bargain City against the Penguins. I don't think this one's going to go to overtime, and the Rangers need to have it. So I got to expect their big guns to be firing tonight. And going back to that Calgary game, Matthew Tkachuk, $5,700. Give me that every day. This guy's a spark plug for this team, the heart and soul of the club. And along with his line mates on that first line, they'll be in for a big night. So it could be a Calgary stack, and it won't even cost that much.
AJ, who do you want at the wing?
Well, I absolutely hope Anna's right, and Kapanen has a big game. That's point number 1 here. Let's all keep our fingers crossed for that one. But I think Paul's on the right guy here. Matthew Tkachuk, like, even if he were priced towards the top of the range, if he was in that $7,000 area, I'd probably consider him. You're talking about a guy on a 9-game point streak, but especially at 5,700, like, I absolutely want to give him a look here. And I'd also consider to get a share of that Florida offense, Carter Verhaeghe. Production hasn't been huge of late, but he's still getting those looks on that top line at just 3,200. And spending that low is going to give you a lot of roster flexibility if you want to go up for a MacKinnon or somebody else higher in the range. So there's a trio of guys that I would look at there.
All right, AJ, is it going to give you some flexibility back on the blue line?
I'm going to continue going a little bit lower, but that is one option. Obviously, Cale Makar is always in play. here, and that could be where you want to spend up. For me, I'm going to target Pittsburgh's Mike Matheson here. Just a really solid floor, 24 shots, 15 blocks in his last 10 games. There's only 2 assists there, but he's going to continue getting minutes with that number 2 power play unit. So that high shot volume should stay up. He's actually had 10 of those shots in the last 2 games. Won't break the bank for you. But you could obviously, if you want to load up on Penguins, you could go Letang, and Makar, as I said, is always in play. But if you need a little lower value, I like Mike Matheson tonight.
All right, Anna, Roman, then there's Kale, like $8,200, $7,900 respectively. Then a huge drop off to Letang at 6'4".
For sure. And, Kale McCarr, you can't go wrong. But what about his defensive partner in Devon Toews? He had a goal. He had 4 shots on net. He had 1 block in that game 1. He's playing with Kale McCarr, coming off of the best season of his NHL career with 57 points, 13 goals, 44 assists in the 66 regular season games he played. He now has 3 points, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 9 shots on net in 4 games against the Predators. So you can save a little bit by going with Devon Toews instead of McCarr.
All right, Paul. Who's your guy back on defense?
I like the calls that the other 2 have made. I'm going to add 2 more cheapies to the list, and these guys are both in good situations. Brandon Montour of Florida got 7 points in his last 10 games played, a career-high 37-point season, so don't sleep on him in terms of offensive possibilities behind that Florida attack. Only $3,500. Then Bowen Byram of Colorado, they're going to run up another big score, and he's got the offensive upside too, getting a lot of offensive starts in his play. They're insulating this guy so that he's not exposed defensively, and he's quite a capable scorer, as he displayed all through his junior career. And with 5 points in 10 games starting to show it at the NHL level, that only costs you $2,700.
And there's always the usual suspects here in the postseason, but the NHL playoffs are also filled with some unsung heroes. So hook me up with a value play tonight that you like on this 4-game slate.
For sure. I've made Paul way too happy in my first month here, so I'm going to make AJ super happy.
Yeah.
I'm all the way at the end of the Penguins defensive depth, and I'm going John Marino. He's at 2,600. He set up that triple OT winner that Malkin deflected in to give the Penguins that win, and he had 5 shots on goal during that game, tied with Chris Letang for the most shots out of any Penguins defenseman, but Marino played under 30 minutes despite playing almost 2 full hockey games. He had a great block right after the Penguins had to switch their goalies in double OT to Domingue, and he had 2 blocks throughout that game, just aware of the puck the entire time, played well during regulation, played even better during all those overtime periods. I could see a big game for him tonight again.
Yeah, congrats on that win, by the way, AJ.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know how much you had to do with it.
Couldn't. Yeah, I contributed so much to that one, really helped out the guys there. But no, great win. For me, as far as value goes, I'm going to look to the morning skates here. Sam Reinhart is going to switch places with Claude Giroux on that second line. Now, this shouldn't impact Giroux, so if you want to use him, I think he's still in play. He'll be on the number 1 power play unit and is certainly capable of carrying his own line. Reinhart, however, gets bumped up to play with Sam Bennett and Jonathan Huberdeau, so $4,400. A pretty good value for a guy that's going to play with some top offensive producers there.
Yeah, Florida has not won a playoff series since its 1996 run to the Stanley Cup final. Paul, a value play tonight.
3 guys at sub 5,000, and they all have very good roles tonight. Val Nichushkin of Colorado goes up to the top line there for $4,700, playing in place of Landeskog, who's dropped into the second line. Guy had a career best 52-point season in 62 games played, and he's played a 2-way game too, so they got a lot of faith in him, and his plus 21 rating earns that recognition. Committing to a strong 2-way game, getting in good situations earned him this promotion, so watch out for him. I agree with the call on Claude Giroux. He's had a very nice run with Florida in terms of the offense he's provided, better than a point per game his entire time there, only $4,600. Then finally, Frankie Vetrano of the Rangers for $4,000, maybe the best of the lot, the definitive unsung hero in my opinion. He gets right wing role on the top line tonight, along with a right wing on the second power play, finishing the regular season with 18 goals in 71 games. Got a good chance to pad those numbers tonight.